Will this timeline end up being influential to the overall plot of Dragon Ball Z? Possibly. Possibly. What's up everybody, StevDeS here, and welcome to the
SCAREVEMBER
edition of Dragon Ball Days. Let's get right into it because we actually have a lot to cover as far as finishing this up. So, if you want to recap, go ahead and check out the other two parts in that playlist where that bubble is. After Namek, Gohan is more than happy to see Mr. Piccolo alive again. This is one of those real relief situations where the Namekians haven't returned yet and Porunga has just used his last wish to revive both Kami and Piccolo because they're both linked. Before his death, however, Guru informs them about the rule of Porunga's Dragon Balls, since going to Namek again wouldn't be very fruitful for anyone and he's kind of about to die. He needs to let Mori know about these rules.
I have served long as Namek's guardian, and so I leave you with this wisdom. Our Dragon Balls can in fact revive our people. However, if our people have died more than an Earth year ago, approximately 3.5 years Namekian, then I'm afraid they will be gone to the ages. Also, treasure your life, as the dragon can only revive you once. The next time, unfortunately, you will be dead.
Guru goes on to say that the other thing they need to know is if it was a natural cause, like his death in a moment, it can't be fixed with the Dragon Balls. So basically, Porunga has the same restrictions that Shenron did initially, but to keep in tradition that Porunga is a stronger dragon than Shenron, I think this is a good rule just to make that balance even out. In about 130 days, they summon Porunga again, and as a show of good faith to Gohan, they give him one of the wishes. But what can he wish for? Well, he can't really wish for any of his friends to come back to life. So I guess the next best thing is to figure out what the heck happened to him with Vegeta. Porunga has the answer and tells him that he had achieved a form far beyond any Saiyan in history other than the one legendary Super Saiyan. Here, Gohan gets the knowledge that he turned into this Super Saiyan, which is a legendary form. Chip off the old block unlocking something. He's definitely Goku's son. Whenever Chi-Chi doesn't have Gohan studying, he's able to get training with Mr. Piccolo, who often arrives and wants to train with him. He wants to be sure that Gohan can control this form. It's still kinda hard for him. Piccolo's training would be successful and Gohan would grow with getting acclimated to the form, even taking it up a notch and achieving Super Saiyan Grade 2. Piccolo would also benefit from this and get about as strong as when he had fused with Nail in the original timeline, but he didn't fuse with Nail in this timeline. He's got that strength by himself. Meanwhile, on Frieza planet 1134, we see that Vegeta is getting out of a healing pod. All the time in the healing pod, he had been thinking to himself, what happened to that child? Wait, that child, he must be Kakarot's boy. That means he has Saiyan DNA in him. That means that form was the legendary Super Saiyan. A child? A child is the legendary Super Saiyan and not me? And sure enough, he busts out of the healing pod. And then he goes on a complete rampage through the installment on Frieza Planet 1134 with just one soldier alive. Vegeta is going to use this to his advantage. He opens a comm link with Frieza directly and holds the soldier to let Frieza know directly that he will be on Earth, waiting for the Emperor. This is a challenge on his honor. Back on planet Earth, Gohan is training at Kami's lookout and is enjoying himself when he senses a very familiar power level landing near Korin's tower. It doesn't take long for Gohan to go investigate this, turning into Super Saiyan Grade 1 to intimidate Vegeta since he knows it's Vegeta. Piccolo's there too, but he's kind of just hanging out in the shadows. He wants to see what Gohan does here. When the pod opens, Gohan approaches it and holds his hand out, charging a little beam of energy in it, again maintaining his Super Saiyan form.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't blast you away right now, Vegeta. Because I need your help against someone far more powerful than I am. For you are the legendary Super Saiyan, aren't you?
Vegeta then explains how he knows about this and who Frieza is and what's about to happen. He didn't explain that he's the reason Frieza's coming to Earth. The way he plays it off is, well, Raditz came, then died, then Nappa came, then died, and then I came and I failed. That's a tarnishment on the Frieza forces. He can't let that go. So it's either he helps them or he dies by Frieza. He's hoping for the first one. By now, Piccolo makes the scene and helps Gohan understand that maybe Vegeta's probably going to be influential if this Frieza character is really as dangerous as he claims. In as little as a week, the Z Fighters are gathered and Frieza descends upon planet Earth. You really didn't think I wouldn't leave him out of this, would you? I mean, Vegeta's still around, Frieza's still gonna be around. The Frieza soldiers swarm out and they're handled pretty easily. By this point, everybody's pushing 20,000, at least. Even Yajirobe can handle any troops that come his way, and yes, he's a Z warrior in this case. A little less warriors, big guy's gotta pony up to the plate. Yajirobe's power level by this point would probably be about, let's give it about 5,000. Put him on par with the Namekian warriors. However, there is a very entertaining battle in this timeline. Dodoria and Zarbon versus Yamcha and Tien. Why isn't Gohan just turning Super Saiyan and blasting them away, I can hear you ask? Well, because they understand that Super Saiyan form drains energy, and if he's got to fight Frieza, he might want to hold off on that. Naturally, the Z-Warriors make a stand, and at this point, Yamcha and Tien have more teamwork than Dodoria and Zarbon do. It's a close fight, but Tien and Yamcha are able to win out in the end. After his left and right men were just slaughtered in front of him, Frieza is now annoyed, and he goes on the offensive. Starting with that giggling, dancing idiot and his bald friend by putting a beam through Yamcha's chest. That'll shut him up. Enraged, Tien rushes in, just to be slapped aside. This cues Piccolo to rush in, and he's able to handle Frieza at his first form easily. Remember how Yajirobe's there? Well, he's got Senzu Beans and immediately gives one to Yamcha. Yamcha survives for a bit longer. Piccolo is holding Frieza off until Frieza eventually gets to the third form. This is where Vegeta comes up with the idea to almost kill him so long as they have a few more of those Senzu Beans, which Yamcha and Tien are just fine with beating the hell out of Vegeta, but they simply go for a Kamehameha and a Dodon Ray through the chest, a little bit extra. With Yajirobe administering the Senzu Bean, it's not long before third form Frieza starts wearing the Namekian out, and is then assailed upon by the Prince of All Saiyans. Piccolo now retreats, and Vegeta keeps the fight up against Frieza as long as he can. But it doesn't stop Frieza from going to his final form. This is where Gohan comes in. He turns Super Saiyan and takes on Frieza mano a mano. There is one thing that you must consider. Gohan has Super Saiyan Grade 2 as opposed to Goku's Grade 1. Yeah, Gohan is able to wipe the floor with Frieza. And before Frieza resorts to blowing the planet up, Vegeta comes in and steals the kill. He wants to be sure he's the one that kills Frieza, not this brat. After Frieza's killed, Gohan urges him to just take the ship and get off of Earth. He's done, the job's done. However, Vegeta has a bit of knowledge to share with the Earth crew. King Cold's not going to be happy that his son died, and King Cold is much stronger. They're going to need more than one Super Saiyan.
So teach me, brat. Together we can avenge our race. Think about it. You'd be making your ancestors very proud.
Ooh, Goku, why'd you have to die and make Gohan want to be a warrior? This just... Vegeta's able to play with Gohan here, and Gohan accepts, only teaching him grade 1. Not willing to, teach him that grade 2 exists. Besides, Piccolo thinks it's a good idea since Vegeta's here, probably good to give him some training as far as Super Saiyan's concerned, just so Earth's not wiped out by this King Cold guy. Eventually, the fated day arrives, and Vegeta and Gohan are holding their own against King Cold, who has had to resort to his final form. Not the one like Cooler has, just the one like Frieza has. Cooler's a movie villain, let's keep consistent canon here. Both sides are on the back foot. It is that close of a battle between Super Saiyan Grade 1 Vegeta and Super Saiyan Grade 2 Gohan. There's nobody that can hold up against King Cold at this point. However, there is one saving grace, a warrior from the future who has traveled to the past to be sure that the android threat is stopped. And, sure enough, Trunks makes the scene. When Trunks makes the scene, he cuts King Cold in half. After, weakening him and being sure he can't fight. There's two main differences here. Trunks is after Gohan, not Goku, and he doesn't have the heart medicine since in this timeline it didn't need to be developed. He just goes to Gohan, tells him what's going on, and tells him that he'll be back to help them fight. With the thought of a future threat to Earth, things go about like they do normally up until Android 20 and Android 19 happen, with Bulma and Yamcha breaking up and Vegeta and Bulma getting together, airing little baby Trunks. The anime goes about the same. 19 and 20 are defeated, but there's no future Trunks anywhere. Why? After peace has returned to Earth, and Dr. Gero and his Android 19 are killed, 17 and 18 wake up, and they start wreaking havoc, killing Mr. Piccolo, Vegeta, Yamcha, Tien. Gohan's the last one left. But eventually, Vegeta's heir grows up well enough to start undergoing training, and start trying to unlock the Super Saiyan he knows is in that child. The events of the future of Trunks happen consistently. But what about our Trunks that was in this timeline? The one that delivered the warning to Gohan? Well, he returned to his time, had a day of just resting and telling his mom what happened. But he's in a hurry to get that done and get back to the present so that he can properly fix things. Knows his job isn't done yet. So, in the middle of the night, he takes the time machine out of the capsule, and then he hears a nearby rustling. Something comes out of the bushes, but it's too quick. He can't react to this thing. Whatever it is, it grabs him by the neck and starts choking the life out of him. It's a thick green appendage that's murdering him in front of his time machine, eventually snapping his neck. Then, the creature sets the time machine up and reverts to a larval state in order to go to the time period that the future Trunks of that timeline is going to. A future where the Dragon Balls can revive people. And Goku is very much alive, traveling from Yardrat in order to help his friends from Mecha Frieza and his father. And that was What If the Dragons Can't Revive. Happy SCAREVEMBER, everybody. This was a fun trilogy, and I look forward to writing another trilogy like this in a year's time, just about. And hey, tomorrow's my birthday! Tomorrow's my birthday.
It's been so long since you came back home.